Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome back. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon from whatever part of the world you're joining us here at Formula One Sim Racing. It's myself, Zabi, and once more, I'll be taking you through the nights and the streets of Singapore here tonight for the night race. For the round 18 of the 24-round championship with Formula One Sim Racing. Of course, we're at round 18. Last year's winner, Zen Zoku. Last race winner as well, if I remember correctly. And moving to the Drivers' Championship, Zen Zoku now leads the championship by over 100 points to Scrubbins, who's on 282 points, and Zen is on 382 points. Then comes Fly Scott in third place, who's on 245. Then it is High B with 185 in fourth place. AI with 184, 1 point behind High B. Then comes Footy with 99 points in that championship, just one behind 100 points in the championship. Then Spliff with 68 points to his name. Now moving forward, looking at things, so there's actually drivers out on flying laps, and it is Spliff for the very first one to start a flying lap, heading towards turn one. How good is this one going to be? Just keeping it within the white lines, keeping it tight. He just has a spin round and has a little slide and spins his car around. That's going to be car number 99 in the middle of the track. Now getting back to it, causing a yellow flag as others get past him, but that was very lucky there. Zen on a flying lap as well, along with Spliff, Scrubbins, Footy, High B, and Fly Scott at the top. Every single one of them on a flying lap. Anybody that is in the top and on a flying lap, that looks like none other than High B at the moment in P4 without time, of course. But then he is the very next one to closer to the finish line, and right behind him is actually it's High B, but High B is he's behind High B. High B now in that red car, different liveries than white and red. That car looks nice, of course. High B with that smiley face, movie blonde. That is the AI setting the fastest lap at the moment. How good is this one going to be from High B? We're yet to find out though, because we're about to get some time from High B over the line. He's just got a few corners to go. Only a couple of corners, almost make contact on the exit of that 17, turn 17 into the final corner now. Over the line, how good is this one going to be? Fastest 132.2. What about Scrubbins, who's going to go even faster now? 128.5. That is rapid fast driving from Scrubbins at the moment. What about Footy though? He's going to be the next driver over the line. 134.1. What about Zen Zoku, championship leader over that line? Can't go fastest. 130.1 from him. Falls short of Scrubbins. Remember, Scrubbins has taken so many pole positions this year, all over 15 pole positions, I believe. What about Fly Scott? He's going to be over the line? No, he's going to head it straight into the pits then. So he has maybe invalidated his lap or ruined his lap. So he's just backed out of it, not looking to continue anymore. So only 3 drivers actually, Fly Scott, Scrubbins and Zen have had pole positions. Scrubbins has had 11 pole positions, but only a few of them have managed to convert into a victory, with most of the wins going to Zen throughout the season. I mean, Zen has been exceptionally driving well this season so far, so you can't say Scrubbins, but I think one thing surely that has benefited Zen throughout the season is mistakes, not making mistakes. Interestingly nice at the moment, so 9 minutes of course will be remaining when qualifying gets over, so only a couple of minutes now remain to the end of this qualifying session. Scrubbins still on pole. 128.592 is the fastest time so far. How good can he do? How quick can he go on his previous time here in qualifying? We are yet to find out, as we are here with Scrubbins at the moment, just getting towards the end of that first sector. How much better time is that going to be to the end of that first sector? Over 4:10s. He's found mega time over 4:10s in that first sector. What about Zen Zoku at the moment? Others are going to be over the line. High B is going to be one of them. He's improving by about a tenth in that middle sector. But how long, how much is that going to be? Because he needs a couple of times. Spliff P3 them. Did not notice that at all. 130.7. Fantastic lap from him as well. So High B at the moment just making his way around the final corner now. Over the line. We're about to find out whether does he improve his previous time. Yes, he does. Only 52 500ths of a second. That's not going to give him any improvement in terms of position, just by time though. What about the next man on your screen? Footy, he hasn't found an improvement in that middle sector, and that was a slide on the exit of the final corner as well. Will not be getting him anything. FlyScott is just going to be starting his lap. What about Zenzoku? Can he get any closer to Scrubbins' time over the line? Yes, he does get closer, but still 1.1 seconds down on him, so still needs so much of it. What about Scrubbins? Does he go over the line and improve? Yes, he does, but invalidated lap. 300ths of a second, 0.034, but Scrubbins has now retired out of this one as well. So if it's Zen's lap, over 1.1 seconds behind him still, despite a wonderful effort from Zen. That then explains Scrubbins thinking that is it for me. Not a lot of time is remaining in the qualifying session as well, so Spliff has eventually now retired. So we're just getting to the end of qualifying, we're getting to the end of it. So possibly, Scrubbins knew that if he goes over the line, he will not be getting another lap, so simply has retired out of this one, and understandably so. Zenzoku at the moment out of fuel, so he just wants to limp back to the pits. Meanwhile, Hype is on a roll here, after some improvements. He's looking after a better lap time. He's going to try and do that. Maybe you got 500ths of a second in the previous one, 500ths around here, so possibly that could get him 1/10 on his lap. How good is this one going to be? 1.193. That is almost 2/10 of an improvement on his previous lap, but still nearly 3/10 down. Or in fact, not 3/10 down. That is nearly 2.2 seconds down on Spliff to see him improve. So at the moment, that is FlyScott, who could not, in fact, he did post a time. We're about to say that he did not post a time. He did post a time, then just goes ahead of Hype. 1:31.433 is going to be the time. The top three in the qualifying session have retired out of this session so far. Of course, qualifying is about to come to an end. So here we are, just waiting for the final moments, for the cars to go around for a few final time, and that is it. And these are your qualifying results. Scrubbins has taken pole by over 1 second. And these are your qualifying results here for the Singapore GP. And we are ready to go racing as cars are just lining up on the grid here for the Singapore GP. Scrubbins on pole ahead of Zenzoku with Spliff for MP3. Spliff has been one of the very good qualifiers throughout the season as well, but just unable to convert those into race positions. So we haven't got any data, which we'll be trying to get as soon as we can here at the moment. We're going to get this out of the way. 5 lights out, and we go racing at the Singapore GP. It's going to be a decent start for Scrubbins, but a very good, but decent one from Zen as well, heading towards turn 1. He's going to go down the inside line. Just has to back out of it in the end. What about High B? He's lost out a couple of positions. Footy's gaining some of them, heading towards turn 3. Almost makes contact with the car around the outside. Still going to be side by side with one of them out there, and that is absolutely down the inside line. Footy's going to go for it once more, and he's going to make that move, and that overtake is done from Footy, heading towards the first few corners on the circuit. Meanwhile, cars at the back are going for it as well, so most of them starting on a set of soft compound tires, along with Zen and another AI driver on that medium compound tire. Meanwhile, Footy's put it into the wall. We were only a few corners into.
Oh, I'm already out. Yeah, oh no. No way.
Footy has put it in the wall, has found the wall within a couple of corners. Scrubbins, after being just managing to get a better start than Zen on those soft compound tires as compared to his opposite strategy, will have to now do that once more to try and get a better restart, because surely that is going to be coming against them at the moment, because he would have wanted to pull away. 7/10, look at that, surely would have wanted to pull away, but now a full course safety car is out on the track with 9 drivers remaining and only 5 of our drivers that we are following. So drivers actually are as they started. Scrubbins on P1 with Zen in P2, Spliff in P3, FlyScott in P4. Hybe has lost out a position from P5 to P6, and Zen is going to head into the pits. Oh no, he will not head into the pits. Did he try to bluff there? Alright, he's going to head in the pits then. He maybe might have just made a mistake there, but both of them are going to be in the pits. So with 16 laps of racing, let's see what tyres Zen is going to go on to. A set of hard tyres should be on. Alright, Scrubbins going to go on to a set of mediums. What about Zen? He's going to go on to a set of hards, understandably so, but he can't finish that race on a set of softs. So now the strategy is switched up. Now everything played in favor of Scrubbins at the moment. At least for the moment, he'll get better traction, better grip as compared to Zen. But for how long? Because surely as soon as these medium tires run out of grip, it is going to be all Zen right behind him on the set of hards. So possibly, I think, well done to Scrubbins, but then he'll have to make up a lot of gap. He's going to safety car's going to be into the slap split, but he's not going to be going for it now, or in fact he will be going for it just now. In fact he's slowed down once more. He's slowed down. FlyScott's right behind him. Surely a restart could be coming upon us, and we going to see them go up, get caught napping. Meanwhile, Scrubbins got a better restart than has High B. In fact, High B did pit, so he's going to be behind these guys anyways. Now Spliff so far has managed to keep that restarting. Pegetta, very good restart as compared to FlyScott, who's now over 7/10 behind him. So surely Spliff has got a better restart. Meanwhile, Scrubbins gaining position as well. So is Zen right behind him. Definitely these guys have already went forward, and remember, whoever's ahead of one another should be fighting for that race lead. Meanwhile, High B and Zen go side by side. He's out of the way. Zen is now fighting for that AI car. He's ahead of him as well into 5th, 6th place. Now surely Scrubbins is going to be making his 100%, giving it his 100% to get past these two AA cars. A bit of traffic ahead of these guys to get past that as soon as he can. Then come the two drivers of FlyScott and Spliff. Spliff so far, 3 lap on these soft tyres, so possibly 3 or 4 more laps on these soft, then he'll go on to a set of medium tyres. Best hope for him will be another safety car, but I think as long as he does a good job in this race, I think he should be able to fight for that podium, because in this one FlyScott doesn't look too strong, or already the gap 1.2 seconds. So Spliff, as long as he finishes this race, as long as he doesn't make too many mistakes, he should be good. He should be okay in terms of possible podium. Actually, remembers Spliff last place in the Drivers' Championship, only driver without a podium this season so far, and Spliff gets that fastest lap. That is a nice one. Surely safety car, in fact, he will get that fastest lap because safety car is just coming into this lap. Meanwhile, Scrubbins going to go on the inside line of that AI of Automo. Almost makes contact, but just comes out of it without any problems and skips untouched out of this one. So yeah, I was saying Spliff was going to get that fast lap, of course, as it was the safety car restart, and a safety car came in on lap 1, so no data from the previous laps. Meanwhile, Scrubbins going to be going for it now, and he's back into P3 down the outside, late into the on the brakes. He's going to be getting ahead of the AI. So is Zen. Has he made a mistake though? Has he made a mistake? Because he surely looks a bit slower than we're trying to overtake these cars round the outside. Just makes that move as well on the exit. Now there is one car between Zen and Scrubbins as it stands. So Zen now has to make sure he doesn't get attacked back by those AI drivers, along with trying to get past Alpine Breeze in that AI. And then Scrubbins in P3 so far. Meanwhile, Hybe's lost out positions. Has he made a mistake? No, not sure though. He hasn't got any damage as it stands. He's going to try and get past that AI once more on the inside line, trying to get past him, get ahead of him. No, in fact, he's actually far behind him. For a moment, I thought they were quite close, but they are not as it stands. And Zen now still over 9/10 behind one of the cars there, so that surely is going to be a bit of a problem. Meanwhile, Scrubbins is only 8/10 behind FlyScott now, who's and Spliff, who both are on 5-lap old soft compound tires. Scrubbins not got that fastest lap, of course, as he's only on 1 lap fresher tires, so actually it won't make that much of a difference, to be fair. Surely on a set of mediums and on a set of softs, so maybe, of course, they don't need to pit again, Zen and Scrubbins, so that's the advantage they have. They're a pit stop ahead of these guys, that's for sure, but only 1 point, difference between these two. So not a lot of, I shall say, tire deficit, which we call in the strategy one of the big things to see us have fun. And now Spliff is 1.2 behind, 1.3 ahead of FlyScott. Still doing that job nicely done. Meanwhile, the Hype at the back still fighting this AI car ahead of him, who's got a similar design to his car. For a moment, you would think that is High B from some points, but of course different from the front and the sides. From the back of the car, it slightly looks that they're actually on a similar bit of thing. So these two drivers, the only drivers within 1 second of in this race so far, along with Scrubbins and Fly Scott, both not within that DRS. Only Scrubbins with that DRS and that rear wing opening on his car, and he should be getting past Fly Scott very soon as it stands. So anytime any opportunity for Scrubbins, he's going to be getting past him down the outside or the inside line. No, this has to back out of it, and then almost goes into the back of Fly Scott there, but doesn't quite go for it at all as it stands. So has to back out of it. What about High B? Does he back out of it? No, down around the outside. He's going to be going for it, and they're going to make contact. Or I wonder, he lost it on that curb, because on the entry he's just lost the rear slightly and has that little slide. That is going to bring him all the pressure that he wasn't looking for. And Scrubbins is now right behind Fly Scott, coming up for a move, coming up for a chance to overtake very soon, as we are here to the end of that middle sector. They split off that middle sector and they're going to clash.
Oh yeah, who is that?
Fly Scott and Scrubbins have collided there, and both of them are going to hit the wall, and with that front wing damage, Scrubbins is going to fall to the back of the pack, and that at the moment is going to allow Zen to progress. Exactly what we talked about at the start of the session, at the start of the weekend, that
I'm screwed.
Scrubbins' mistakes have been what have limited Scrubbins' overall performance throughout the season, and now that is going to limit him even more. As they were going side by side, the walls came ever closer than they would have thought. Of course, street circuits,
He might not make it back.
and that is big problem. A Spliff now should be coming into the pit lane as well anytime soon.
Lifting coast. Yeah.
That would allow Zen to take that race lead. Surely I think Spliff possibly pitting now would be the best option, so it gives him enough laps towards the end as well.
Oh, I don't have that much damage.
He can stay one more lap, maybe pit on lap 8 or lap 9. But then he also needs enough laps to overtake. Meanwhile, Scrubbins is now back at it, and he's ahead of Fly Scott, who's without a whole front wing. No front wing on his car, but then again, that's the problem. You know, surely he's got ahead of him, but then now he's behind Zen. He's many seconds behind.
Oh man, I can't turn as good.
Is that car behind Zen? So now Scrubbins would need to make a lot of progress in the race, in the laps remaining. Remember, with the front wing end plate on that left hand side missing as well, so surely a lot of a bunch of downforce missing on his Formula 1 car, of course. That is going to be a bit of problems. I was about to say BMW, but there's no BMW in this one. So I think this is nice, you know, player cars. These, of course, my team cars that drivers run their own liveries, their own colors, so they don't race for a team. Of course, there is no Constructors Championship, you know, only Drivers Championship it is, so it's only right that we you know, these guys especially just fight for a you know, race as individuals. You know, in the race sometimes, you know, same drivers, two drivers in the same team, be it, you know, them fighting for a Constructors Championship or not, still being in the same team, sometimes you're like, oh, let's work together, this and that, but one or the other driver doesn't want to do it, so it's the best opportunity for them to race individually. Meanwhile, one man's gonna try again once more around the outside, despite the walls being a bit closer, being involved in an incident earlier. Still doesn't get scared at all and does the job that was needed and expected from himself. And Spliff now gonna be coming into the pit lane, doing the job well, almost gets out of it, and he gets a penalty. Spliff has got a 3-second time penalty. So can High B add to his podium tally of 4, make it 5 at the end of this one? Can Spliff's final weight to get a podium this season? 18 rounds, it is round 18 of this championship. 17 rounds have passed and he hasn't been able to finish a race on the podium. Can he have the best race of the season? We are yet to find out. 10.3 seconds the gap between the two, with 6 laps remaining to the end after this one. So Zen leads and lap 10 out of 16, leads by 8.1 seconds ahead of Scrubbins. Remember, had Scrubbins not made that mistake fighting with Fly Scott, he had been we would have been leading the race at the moment. So he was a few seconds ahead of Zen, so should have taken a few laps for Zen to catch up to him, and then, you know, that would have allowed at least for them to have a fight, you know, be it him coming at the top or not. Regardless of that, or whoever wins, at least a fight would have been a nice one. at the moment, looking for fights and looking for positions, which is Fly Scott is going to be a spin around one more time, and he's facing the wrong way this time around. Earlier on, he was within an incident with Fly Scott. This time around, it seems to be an AI, so he surely is not having the race that he would have been looking for so far. It only disappointment from him in this one, last over the running cars. Meanwhile, the two AI cars of Bal and Otomo could be having a little bit of a battle here, as Fly Scott now gets a 3-second time penalty as well. And High B has gained down 7.1 seconds now. So actually Spliff has managed over 5 seconds to High B is so far, only in a few laps of that we've had after him pitting. But will he be able to do that though? Because that's the question. 6.6 seconds. Surely this is going to be interesting. I doubt that Strubbin's going to be able to make that progress on Zen anymore, as he's done over 9 laps on those medium tires. Coming to the end of this one, it's going to be 10 laps on these set of medium compound tires, so definitely he's not going to have enough scrape or speed that he needs to catch up to Zen. But Spliff surely at the moment is looking like to be catching up to High B. 5.8 seconds between the two at the moment, getting to lap 13 now. Anything he has to do, he has to do it very quickly, because not many laps now remain, and a lot. We're heading towards lap 12 then. So Spliff was behind. Leader was already into lap 12, so still he's got this lap as well now. Eventually about 5 laps. At the end of this one's going to be 4 laps, and including this one, it's going to be 5 laps. So 5.5 laps still remaining though. High B's got a 3-second time penalty as well, and surely that is going to help Spliff in a way that it's not going to help him if he's within 3 seconds of him, but it is indeed going to help him if he is ahead of him on track, because otherwise even Spliff, if Spliff overtook him on the track, he wouldn't have gotten that podium because of that 3-second time penalty. But now, not much is going to be affected. 3 drivers with a time penalty in this race are High B, Spliff, and Fly Scott, all on a 3-second of time penalty. Everyone actually on a set of medium tires, apart from Hazen Zoku, who leads the Singapore GP by over 8.9 seconds, coming to the end of it. In fact, to the start of lap 13, the end of lap 12. Only a few minutes, just a few minutes, or in fact, just a few laps now remain to the end of it. 3.4 seconds. That is surely interesting, and that pressure is going to be on High B's shoulders, and that pressure has came in clutch as he has a little slide on the exit of that final corner. Gets that car back in control, but now Spliff's going to be at him around the outside, heading towards turn 1. Is he going to be able to make that overtake? Not just yet. Turn 2 now goes a little bit wide, does Spliff. This is now going to be on. The gap was over 3 seconds, but now only 3/10 out here at the moment. The race is on. The race is for the final place of the podium. Is really on. Spliff, who has never stayed or finished on the podium this season so far, around the outside, is going to be going for it. He's going to have the inside line to the next corner. Is he going to be late on the brakes? Yes, he will be, but it goes a little bit wide. He goes a little bit wide, a little bit deep, and that's going to allow High B to get through. Surely the pressure is on both the drivers here, because they collided. Slight little tap on the back of High B in that from that front wing of Spliff. The gap is increasing a little bit at the moment, but for how long is that going to be the case though? Because Spliff has to get the opportunity of the season. He has got a couple of opportunities, but hasn't been able to capitalize on them. But this one seems to be the best of the season so far, because yet he has the speed, he has the performance so far in the tire life as compared to High B as well. 6 lap newer tires to High B, so definitely he's got everything that he needs to fight for this podium. And there's only one way to find out whether he's going to be able to do it or not, is to watch it and see these guys go over the line. They're in lap 13 at the moment, will be making their way around the few corners, and lap 14 they will be entering at the moment. Of course, our race leader is into lap 14, is the reason that it shows lap 14 out of 16 at the moment. Once more, 5/10 the gap between the two. Is there going to be a chance for Spliff to go for it into turn 1? No, he's far behind and not close enough so far. One more time, one more chance. The DRS is going to be coming up in that first sector. First DRS zone out of the 3 around here. It's going to be a chance for Spliff to go for it once more. Is he going to be going for it on the inside line? Hype goes defensive on the inside line. Around the outside goes Spliff for it. And Hype, at the moment, we've lost them out. We're just going to get back to it. And Spliff had made that overtake. And he has taken that 3rd place from Hype, at least so far, on lap 14 out of 16. Spliff was the only driver out of the 6 that we have had throughout the season to not finish on the podium. Looks like that streak's going to be coming to an end. Or is it? We are yet to find out, as he's already 1.2 seconds ahead of Hype in P4, who's on 11 lap older medium tires as compared to 5 lap old mediums of Spliff. On lap 15 out of 16 is our race leader, 11.5 seconds ahead of Scrubbins. Over 100 points lead in the championship coming into this one. He's going to increase that even more. But our race leader's taken that final lap into this one, and he's on it. 14 laps on these hard tyres, and he's into the 15th one, so 15 laps on those hards, but so is going to be Scrubbins doing those 15s on those medium tyres, so well done to him as well.
No.
Spliff at the moment is going to have a spin, 3.9 seconds behind IP for his first ever opportunity to score a podium this season, as slip away out of his hands into the final lap of this race. He's lost it out on his own.
It's the pressure of the podium.
It wouldn't have been a better opportunity than this for him. IP, who's on over 13 lap older medium tyres, is going to take that 3rd place back again, and now with no more laps remaining at the end of this one, Spliff might just have to settle for 4th place at the moment, because he's made the mistake that he wouldn't have wanted to make, and that is only going to result in falling down back into 4th place. Absolutely, as they say, you have to not lose any focus. You have to focus on, pay attention throughout the race so far, and just a little bit of a focus short, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Zenzoku, your dominant man, the man who led the championship by 100 points coming into this one, is going to increase that deficit even more around the final corner. Zenzoku comes over the line and wins the Singapore GP.
Can't believe it.
Absolutely well done. That's going to be Scrubbins now. Another pole position, but not a win. It's going to be P2. Well done to him as well. A recovery after an early mistake is going to be a chance now for High B, making his way around the final few corners. FlyScott's got another 3-second time penalty, but IB, he has done over 14 laps at the end of this one on the set of medium tires as well. He fought with Spliff, he gave his all. In the end, it was the one who did not make any mistakes towards the end and capitalized against the others. And over the line, it's going to be IB, who's going to finish on the podium for the 5th time this season. Spliff is going to be now coming over 4th in the end of it, equaling his best result of the season. Then it's a couple of AI cars.
Can't believe it, can't believe it.
Coming to the end of it, and FlyScott just making his way around the final corner. He was the driver involved in that crash between him and Scrubbins, but he's now going to be coming over in final place on the grid today. It was a different track, it was different time of the day, but it was the same winner once again, as Zen wins the Singapore GP. And those are your podium celebrations. We're going to see these guys pick up the trophy and really celebrate. Then these are your racing results, ladies and gentlemen. Zenzoku finishes MP1, wins the Singapore GP by over 13 seconds to Scrubbins MP2. Got the fastest lap, High B in P3 after capitalizing on the mistakes of Spliff, who finishes in P4 with FlyScott down in P8, and it was Footy and then Movie Blonde out of this race and did not finish. And that's going to be the end of this one. It was myself, Zabe, and from all of us here at Formula Fun Sim Racing. See you soon at the next round in Houston, Texas at Circuit of the Americas. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.